We all know the famous roasters these days, all the famous YouTube channels, all the famous content creators, all of those who are hyped and all of those who actually have a lot of talent in them. Cannot forget what happened in 2015. So it was a big entertainment company, a huge media channel, a huge channel on YouTube. And what happened was, after one of their events, an FIR was registered against them. In their event, a lot of celebrities, a lot of eminent personalities were present with their consent. Jokes were made upon them, they were laughing upon themselves, and even the audience was laughing upon them. But a lot of things were said which, if we see now, or when it was seen by some people at that time, they felt that it hurt their sentiments. It either hurt their sentiments or it insulted a particular community on the basis of sex or on any other basis. That is why an FIR was filed against them. So why I quoted this incident was to make you understand how important it is to be within your legal limits when you're starting a roasting channel, or when you are creating some content which you think is humorous but is targeting some other person as well, or is involving some other person as well. I am Isha Kapoor and you're watching Vlawgish. So guys, before I start with the video, I want to quickly tell you about one new batch that Unacademy has launched. तो अभी जो एग्ज़ाम अप्रोच कर रहा है वो है राजस्थान जुडिशल सर्विसेज का एग्ज़ाम, एंड आई नो अ लॉट ऑफ यू पीपल आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर इट. सम ऑफ यू पीपल वर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर इट ऑन योर ओन, while some of you had joined some classes जो कि अभी तक एंड हो गई होंगी. तो जिन्होंने भी ऐसा कुछ किया था और जिनको लगता है कि उन्हें रिवीजन बैच या फिर उन्हें किसी ऐसे बैच की ज़रूरत है जिसके बाद उन्हें एक श्योरिटी, उनको एक श्योरिटी जैसा कुछ मिले कि डेफिनेटली वो राजस्थान जुडिशरी के एग्ज़ाम में बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर पाएंगे. सो आई थिंक दिस इज़ एन एक्सट्रीमली गुड बैच विच इज़ शोइंग इन योर स्क्रीन एंड विच इज़ फॉर क्लियरिंग द राजस्थान जुडिशरी ओनली. It is a 3 months batch. It is starting on August 18. What you can do is visit the Unacademy's website from the link given in the description box and check out what kind of educators you are getting. In a span of 3 months, they will be covering the entire course of the Rajasthan judiciary, and they will give you revision notes, they will give you revision questions, the lectures would be detailed, all the laws would be covered, there is a definite timeline, and राजस्थान जुडिशरी को क्रैक करने में डेफिनेटली आपको बहुत हेल्प होगी. ये मुझे कोर्स स्ट्रक्चर देख के ही पता लग रहा है बिल्कुल. तो डेफिनेटली एक बार जाओ और चेक करो एंड यूज़ द कोड VLOGISH फॉर गेटिंग 10% ऑफ. सारे रोस्टिंग यूट्यूब चैनल्स हैं ना, जिनको हम लोग देखते भी हैं, पसंद भी करते हैं, और जिन्होंने अपने लिए बहुत ही वाइड ऑडियंस एंड फैन बेस कलेक्ट कर लिया है. एंड आई थिंक बिकॉज दे आर हार्ड वर्किंग, बिकॉज दे पुट अप ग्रेट कॉन्टेंट ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म्स, they deserve all of that. And those are maybe Mr. Harry Pinati, Miss Zone, she's becoming very popular these days. I won't comment on what kind of talent she has. Then there is one Mr. Zone as well. Then there was AIBC that does not actually exist right now. But अगर मैं सिर्फ YouTube community guidelines की भी बात करूँ और मैं legal scenario पे ना भी जाऊँ, अगर मैं एक सिर्फ YouTube के नज़रिए से देखूँ, अगर आप इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे अपना content put up करना चाहते हैं which is related to roasting or creating humorous content, then the community guidelines definitely bar you from directly insulting somebody, threatening somebody, giving threats and saying, even if you're covering your face and you're giving threats, if you're insulting someone, if you are commenting on groups. Now these groups can be made on the basis of gender, religion, sex, anything, any basis, on the basis of occupation as well, on the basis of what they do. So you cannot directly insult somebody with a malified intention, that is with a bad intention, that is you have it in your mind that I'm trying to insult this person, and it seems more of an insult than humor. Okay, now some people say that we should apply the viewer's discretion test here, which means that if the viewers want to see that kind of content, then the platforms must allow that content to coexist with the other videos, with the other blogs, articles. But we have to understand that even if we go to the Indian law right now, okay, because every country definitely protects all their citizens and some people as well. So if I talk about the Indian law, it is not only for the majority of the people. Like अगर मैं आज बोलूं कि मिस्टर हैरी पेनाटी ने एक वीडियो अपलोड करी और उस वीडियो में एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप को बहुत अच्छे से टारगेट किया गया एंड देयर वर malified insults present there, insults that were done with a malified intention that was in his mind. But the fans of Harry Pinati say that this video should remain on this platform. This video should not, YouTube should not, remove this video from the platform because we are liking this video. But that would mean the rule of majority, because a lot of people are on the side of that person, but the other party, the other person who has been affected, who feels that he has been insulted, if there is a group who feels that they have been insulted as a group, they have been threatened, then we have to protect them as well, and that is why this kind of legal scenario exists. बहुत important question आता है, can I use cuss words? Can I abuse in my videos? So let's not go to the moral aspect there. Let's see what can happen to you legally if you do that. So the law definitely does not bar you from using cuss words per se, that you cannot abuse at all, to be very frank. But what happens is, if you're using a particular cuss word, a particular abuse for a person, for a group, then it may hurt their sentiments. It may hurt religious sentiments. If it is if it has a nature which is sexually explicit as well, then it may attract another section of the Indian Penal Code. If you think that it is threatening somebody, like if you're abusing somebody, if you're trying, if from your video, from your content, it appears that you're trying to be to the other person submit to you, or you're trying to be dominant over that other person, then it can also be said that you're threatening that person. You should exercise some restraint there, and if you will not exercise that kind of restraint, not only your content will be removed, but you will also be booked under various sections of the, you may also be booked under various sections of the Indian Penal Code and other laws as well, if you are in India. Now, not only the Indian Penal Code, but the Information Technology Act, and that is the IT Act, will also be used to punish you, will also be used against you for sure if you are in that kind of a situation. So it is better to not fall into such situations. A lot of people say that we have the freedom of speech and expression, which our constitution guarantees us. But what they forget is that this freedom is not absolute. It is a conditional freedom. So you can exercise this freedom for sure, but only after ensuring that you are reasonably restricted. If the state wants, they can definitely restrict your freedom of speech and expression. This usually happens on the grounds of morality, on the grounds of public decency, on the grounds of public order. Whenever there is some content in the video that may be considered as obscene by another person, then also you may be booked, and it may be said that you cannot exercise this freedom of putting up this content on social media because the law does not allow you to do so. तो अब आप लोग पूछोगे कि स्टैंडर्ड क्या है, जज कैसे किया जाएगा कि ये ऑब्सीन था कि नहीं, कि ये लिमिट्स मैंने क्रॉस की या नहीं, कि मुझे इतना कस वर्ड इसके बारे में यूज़ करना अलाउड था और इतना नहीं था, मुझे उस ग्रुप के बारे में ये बोलना अलाउड था और ये नहीं था, ये सब डिसाइड कैसे किया जाएगा. तो क्या होता है ना कि जैसे जैसे जूरिस्प्रूडेंस डेवलप होती जाती है, जैसे जैसे नए केसेस बिफोर द कोर्ट्स आते जाते हैं, कोर्ट्स भी नई नई चीज़ों को इंटरप्रेट करके रूल्स निकालते जाते हैं कि कैसे ऐसे केसेस को डिसाइड किया जाएगा. तो ऐसे ही बहुत सारे रूल्स हमारी कंट्री में फ्रॉम डेकेड्स नए नए निकलते आ रहे हैं, और कुछ रूल्स जो पहले के हैं वो ही फॉलो हो रहे हैं. सो इफ़ आई टॉक अबाउट द US सुप्रीम कोर्ट, देयर वाज एन इंटरेस्टिंग केस दैट हैपेंड बिफोर 1970s. आई थिंक इट वाज अराउंड 1964, वेयर there was Justice Stewart of the US Supreme Court, and he was dealing with the case where he had to identify whether this film, this video that was before him could be considered pornographic. So he was in a situation where he had to define how he will identify pornography, whether it is pornography or not. So you know what he said? He said, "I know it when I see it," and I'm just quoting him. So quote, "I know it when I see it," unquote. So he just said कि बस मैं देखूंगा तो मुझे पता लग जाएगा. Therefore he said there is no definitive test, and even until today in India as well, there is no definitive test. yes, you may say that the Hicklin test is used, the other tests are used to identify if a particular content is a particular video, a particular blog post, a particular novel is obscene or not, is crossing the limits of public decency or not. But these are not definitive tests. So a test of average man of average intelligence is applied, कि एक आम आदमी को देख के क्या लगेगा, क्या वो उसे देख के ऑब्सीन लगेगा, क्या उसे देख के वो सेक्सुअली अराउज्ड होगा। तो इस तरह के टेस्ट लगाए जाते हैं, और इसी तरह के टेस्ट लगाए जाते हैं जब आप ऐसा कोई कंटेंट पुट अप करते हो जो किसी को इंसल्ट कर रहा होता है या किसी को सेक्सुअली एक्सप्लिसिट लगता है। सो जैसे कि हम कस वर्ड्स की बात कर रहे थे, नॉट ओनली सेक्शन 354A if a women is involved and sections such as section 509 of the IPC, but if you're covering your face and you're saying something, you're insulting somebody, you're threatening somebody, then even sections such as section 507 may be attracted against you. So a lot of provisions may be applied against you if you try to cross your boundaries of public speech. Then you know, what is the intention of the law? The intention of the law is that everybody should exercise their freedom in a controlled manner. And why is that required to be controlled? So that you do not step upon the freedom of others. So you will be regulated so that others can also be protected. You know, one person cannot be given the absolute liberty to say anything and everything about any other person or group. That is why such laws exist. That is why such cases exist in India. ये सारे क्रिमिनल लॉज तो होते ही है जो आपके अगेंस्ट अट्रैक्ट हो सकते हैं, और आपके अगेंस्ट एक अच्छी खासी क्रिमिनल प्रोसीडिंग चल सकती है। ये सेक्शंस आईटी एक्ट और आईपीसी के भी मैंने आपको बताया हैं, इंडियन पीनल कोड के। बट आपसे डैमेजेस भी क्लेम करे जा सकते हैं अगर आपका वो स्पीच, आपका वो कंटेंट, उस वीडियो में आपने कुछ ऐसा कह दिया जो कि डेफेमेटरी था और डेफेमेशन प्रूव हो गया कोर्ट में, तो एक सिविल केस में, तो डेफिनेटली आपसे सिविल डैमेजेस फॉर द लॉस ऑफ रेपुटेशन भी मांगे जा सकते हैं। एंड यू नेवर नो, अगर आप किसी ऐसे इंसान के बारे में कमेंट कर रहे हो who has an extremely good reputation in the society and that person turns against you, you never know कि कितना क्लेम, कितने डैमेजेस आपसे मांगे जाएं और कितना मुश्किल हो जाए आपके लिए उसे डिफेंड करना। सो अगर आप अभी से ही रिस्ट्रेंट बना के चलोगे, सो दैट विल बी गुड फॉर यू।